Raise the bar. I'm talking to you. Raise that bar, man. Then just see who rises up to it. Most people that you know, that I know, from what I've seen in my life, spend their entire lives trying to adjust themselves for other people. Example being, she pulls back. He adjusts his expectations now. She shows up late. He changes his standards. She treats him in a way that's less than what he deserves. He reads that as, oh, okay, maybe I deserve this. This is what I owe. Each adjustment in the moment, they seem reasonable. Seems like you're being flexible. You're understanding the mature response. But here's what's actually happening underneath it. The bar that you set for yourself is lowering every single time. Not dramatically. It won't be all immediate coming at you with strong force all at once, but from one small accommodation at a time. He doesn't even notice in this moment because each individual adjustment, they seem so minor, so forgivable, so much smaller than the conflict it would take to hold the line. Until one day he just looks up. He realizes that where he is at now is so much behind than where he expected, where he started, because he didn't see it in the moment. He didn't place it here intentionally at first. The people in his life, I promise you this, are clearing it. They're just boom, without effort, because he moved it down so far that this is becoming normal. Simply because he tried to meet their needs. He tried to meet it rather than holding and watching who rose up to it. You see, think of it like this. Think of a tide that slowly resides. You don't feel it going out. You're standing on the same shore, but the water is pulling back inch by inch. And then an hour passes and you look around. You're standing somewhere completely different than where you started. Dry, exposed, far from where, the water used to reach. Your standard is the tide. Most people are letting it reside without ever deciding to. So today I want to break down exactly what it means to raise the bar. Why most guys, they confuse it with being demanding, if we're going to be honest. And what happens to every single relationship in your life when you hold it. And what the person on the other side of a real standard actually experiences. So stay with me because this one changes every room that you walk into. If you're new here, I go by the name CXM. On this channel, we break down detachment, attraction, and alignment to help you understand not only others, but yourself. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So before we dive in and talk about raising it, I want you to understand what the actual bar is, what it actually is. Because most guys, they will think about it like it's a set of rules, you have to apply to people. It's not. The bar is the quality of experiences that you have decided that you are unwilling to live below. Simple like that. Not a rule that you announce. Not a line that you draw in a conversation. No. Not the ultimatum that you deliver when something goes wrong. It's simply a quality of life, internal, demonstrated through what you accept, not through what you say you don't. You can't say, oh no, I don't. How do you tolerate it? If you remember one of my earlier posts on the community tab, I've said, if you allow certain people to treat you or talk to you or think of you or even, you understand? Then they will start to think it's normal. They'll think it's, oh, okay. There's a big reason why sometimes I troll and I get on these bots. I get on these NPCs that think they can just type away like a keyboard warrior, like the dungeon damn diamond or something like this without any repercussions. Oh no, you can't take a joke now? They get in their feelings. No, because in real life, it would be completely different. They would be shh. They would be quiet. They will see me and they won't say a word. Trust me, I see them. And it's the opposite. It's the complete opposite. Eventually what happens? They just stop. They stop. Think about the difference between a fence and a mountain. A fence is announced, maintained, is visible. It can be climbed, broken, moved. It requires constant monitoring. Not necessarily always all eyes on it, but you check up on it once a month, this, that, to make sure it has its structure, make sure it's still steady, still strong. The moment that you look away, someone is testing if the fence actually holds. Not necessarily literally, but you get the point. A mountain doesn't. It just is. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need to be maintained. It doesn't require your attention to remain as it is. Can't even be climbed without effort. Many people have tried. Many people succeed. Many people haven't. Not because it's hostile though, because it's simply its nature. That's simply what it is. The man with rules, he's built a fence. The man with the real standard though is a mountain. Major difference. No one tests a mountain. This makes sense. No one tests the mountain the same way that they test the fence. Sure, people try Mount Everest, this, that. They don't, they're not gonna try to think shit is sweet, just like a fence. What I'm describing, the difference between announced rules and demonstrated standards. That is the internal work the art of detachment is built around. Not how to make people treat you better, how to become the kind of man that naturally attracts a different type of quality of treatment. The men who have read it tell me it's the one thing that has changed them, not just in relationships, how they carry themselves everywhere. Will be in the first link in the description. Grab it and come right back. Okay, so CXM, how do I lower the bar? Let's first be honest about it. Because it's not weakness that you're doing it. It's something more specific than that. The bar lowers for almost 3 reasons. The first one is the fear of being alone in your standard. When you hold a bar so high that most people don't want to climb it or meet that expectation, you think, okay, let me just make myself more normal. Let me make myself more accustomed to what they're used to, how they want to perceive it, how they want to treat me. The problem is that you are trying to be reasonable. Like everyone else found a way to be fine with things that you're not okay with. So you just like, okay, let me be acceptable. When you hold a bar so high that most people they're not holding, you start to feel like the problem. This is what's going to happen. Like you're being unreasonable. Let me know if you can relate. Yeah, I know many people that experience this. Like everyone else found a way to be fine with things that you are not fine with. And that loneliness feeling, that position, the sense of being the only one who sees it, eventually this wears most people down. They're like, oh, F it. I'd rather just fit in. So they lower the bar. This is not because they changed their mind. Because social pressure of holding it now becomes a problem. Let me avoid confrontation. Let me avoid conflict. Let me avoid not being liked. Because they think it's more exhausting than just releasing it. Holding the bar seems more exhausting than releasing it. The second is confusing the bar with punishment. Let me give you an example. A man holds his standard. Okay, something below it happens. He has to decide now, do I address this or do I let it go? And addressing it sometimes can feel like you're punishing someone. It seems like it's confrontational. Seems like you're being harsh. Like you're making something more out of nothing. This guy, what he does is he lets it go. It's okay, this one time. This one time becomes the next time, becomes a routinely pattern now. Now it's just like, instead of holding this bar that you had, this standard that you're trying to live by, you just start letting it be free. So everybody just clears it. Everybody just walks all over you. It's not because you decided to move it. No. It's not. It's because he confused holding the bar. He literally confused guy. He confused holding the bar as punishment for the person who didn't want to clear it. That's their problem, not yours. You have to understand that. That's not the same thing. Conflating them, I promise you this, conflating them is the most expensive mistake that a man can make, any guy, especially you. The third is the gradual slide. I'll say it's because he didn't lower his bar intentionally. He didn't. What he did is that he just let one small thing go, just like we just mentioned on the last guy. And then another one. And then another one. You see where I'm going with this? Each time he's doing this, he is telling them it's the expectation. So the expectation, what do you think happens now? Becomes the rules that the other person follows. Let me take you back. The ancient Romans, they had a phrase called gura kavat lapidam. A drop hollows the stone. A drop hollows the stone. Not through force, through repetition, through consistency of application over time. The bar doesn't lower from just one blow. Nah, it lowers from 1,000 of them. Imagine that, 1,000 drops of accommodation. Each one seemingly is too small to matter until the stone is hollow. What you need to understand is that raising it is an exception. Because what these guys won't experience, because they lowered it so much that they don't even find out what holding it creates, is that when you raise the bar, when you demonstrate through actual behavior, not through confrontation, not through speeches, you have a genuine standard that you live by. Something shifts in how people perceive you and how they treat you. It won't be immediately, it won't even be dramatically. Some might even ghost you, some might even say, okay, I'm good off that. But still, something shifts. What happened? The truth is that most people, they don't encounter this type of guy. They don't encounter someone like you who you have a standard. You are someone that you have rules that you don't dissolve under pressure. You're not someone that you draw lines and then you step back from the moment because it might cost something real. You are someone that you actually hold it. You don't just lower it because they feel uncomfortable. You just shoo away. Beat it. What the MJ say? Beat it. Because them being uncomfortable, that has nothing to do with you. That's not your problem. That's theirs. You don't have to adjust your standards to maintain the peace. You don't have to reward things that fall below this level. And then give them continued access. You must be crazy. This is what you'll notice, that majority of these people are bots, NPCs. Probably watch the news. Probably believe all these fairy tales. Because their perception of reality is that you must follow this. You must be this type of person. When that's not what it is in reality. That's not what it is in real time. They will be uncomfortable with your behavior, your demeanor now, because you require a specific response. Matter of fact, you produce a specific response. The ones who actually genuinely value you, the connection that you guys have, they will rise to it, not diminish, not shrink, not vanish, because you demanded it. You didn't even demand it. You said this is what it is. The truth is that even some of them might switch because something in them recognize that what they're dealing with is real, has weight. It's worth respecting. The people who don't value it, though, who don't value the connection, reveal themselves. It's just simple like that. Quickly, cleanly, too. Out of here. You will never see them again. You'll never hear from them. You see how peaceful it is? This is without drama. For all my pacifists. Because the bar that they can't be bothered to clear is the bar telling them, and you, matter of fact, that they were never invested enough to try. Simple like that. That's how I want you to look at it, through this lens. Because you have to think about a filter. Really think about it. Coffee filter, matter of fact. It doesn't argue with the grounds. It doesn't negotiate. It simply allows what passes to pass through it. And then it holds what doesn't. The coffee that passes through it, though, is better for the filtration. Not despite the barrier, but because of it. Your standard is the filter. Do you understand? The people in your life, the people all around you, are either coffee or grounds. The filter, it doesn't judge. It just reveals. That's how it is. That's all there is to it. And don't be that guy that you completely miss this, because the bar is in every single area of your life. Every single one of them. It's not just for relationships. Don't think so. It's not just about how, she treats you. It's the organizing principles of your entire life. What quality of work are you willing to produce, even when no one's watching? That's your bar. What quality of conversation are you willing to have, even when lower quality could be easier? That's your bar. What quality of body are you willing to maintain, even when discipline requires sacrifice? That's your bar. What quality of thought are you willing to think, even when comfortable delusion that's available? That's your bar. That bar isn't going to hold you in relationships. It's the total expression of what you decided your life is worth. And here's what's true about every single domain. The people, the opportunities, the experiences that enter your life tend to match it. It won't be perfectly or immediately. Over time, gradually, you'll see it slowly. The consistent level that you are willing to hold attracts a consistent level of return, a great ROI. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher of the 2nd century, he wrote in Meditations, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The bar isn't the obstacle between you and what you want. The bar is the way toward it. Every time that you hold it, every time that you refuse to accommodate below your level, you're not losing something. What you're doing is that you're clearing the path towards something that's more aligned to what you have decided is how you have to be, how you have to move. Let's have this debate. Some will say that holding the bar high is just ego, that it creates unnecessary friction in, every relationship that you're in. And in life, it's too much to bear with. Stop being difficult. That the wisest men are the ones, who can adapt to every single expectation of reality, rather than demanding reality to adapt to them. Do you agree with that? Let me know. The others will say that holding a standard, despite having no spine, that the friction created by this, the friction created by holding a real bar, is exactly the pressure that reveals character, discipline, builds respect, and attracts the right type of people. I know where I stand, but let me know where you at. Drop them down in the comments down below. With that being said, the clarity room is now open. What I'm describing, aligning every area of your life to a standard worth having, that's exactly where the clarity room is built around. Not just relationships, attraction, detachment, alignment, all 3 pillars. The full system in a private community of men doing this work together. If tonight is landing, this is the next step I want you to take. You can check it out in the description. Come join. I'll greet you as soon as you get in there. The first 50 members will have direct access to me. Ask any questions and I'll be right there. A lot of you guys be emailing me or DMing me. You guys know I'm not on social media like that besides here. So this is a perfect place where you guys can come. You join for the videos. You stay for the community. Guarantee you it's going to be a great decision you ever made. Let me show you 3 men with the same standard. The first guy, he has no bar whatsoever. None of it. He lets anything slide. Or he has one that he just never held. We're going to be honest. He takes what he gets. Oh, okay. He adjusts to whoever's in front of him. He's different towards everybody else. He's like a fucking actor. He calls it flexibility. His relationships, they call it availability. This guy's always ready, always available. What availability produces in relationships and work, in every area of life, is people treat him exactly as available, which is to say, dispensable. That's it. The second man, he explains his bar constantly. Like you're always hearing about it every single day. He talks about his standards. He explains what he needs. He demands that. He makes speeches when the things fall below his level. He is yapping, but he doesn't hold the bar. He holds the conversation about the bar. That's the major difference. The people in his life have learned that the conversation is where the standard lives. Does that make sense? Not in the actual behavior. So they manage the conversation now. Now they're just like they're maneuvering around. You just gotta deal with this guy. You gotta talk to him a different type of way. They give him enough just to keep talking rather than actually rising. I promise you this. The third man, he holds his bar quietly though. No speeches, no announcements, no even drama. We're good. We're good off that. When something falls below it, what does he do? Let me know, what do you think? He simply just doesn't reward it with any effort below his standard. He doesn't give them continued access. He doesn't give them continued warmth, continued investment. Adios, boom. You will never find this guy again around them. They won't even be able to reach him. You take that as how you take that. He's not cold. He's not cruel. He's just clear. Simple like that. That's the clarity that reads in every interaction without ever being stated. Sit with that. Does that make sense? The people now in his life, they respond to clarity. Not always positively. Some might be in their feelings. Some might even go, cool. He doesn't care. That's his standard. That's how he moves. You either accept it, you either get with the program or you're not. You will see it. I'm not going to lie to you. Some will leave. Because the bar is set, this is like, it's too high. Bring it down. Because it's too high than what they want to clear. He lets them go without drama. Adios. Peace. Peace. It was nice knowing you. Not that deep. Because he understands that the departure is the bar actually working correctly. Boom. Now that's a bar. Write that down. Don't forget it. The ones who stay though, the ones who actually rise up to the standard, those relationships are fundamentally different than the first 2 that we mentioned. Because they're built on I'm talking about a real thing. On demonstrated standard, on mutual respect that was earned rather than assumed. Now here's the part that's going to change every single relationship that you're in. Most men that have been holding a bar lower than what they would actually admit and telling themselves that the people in their lives are just giving them what they're worth. They're not. They're giving them exactly what the bar demands. Raise the bar, not as an announcement, not as a test that's designed to make them, no. Just actually hold the level of standard that you are setting for yourself, that you have decided on, that is definitive, that's it. And then actually respond to it the same way that a real man will respond to things that fall short. Without drama, without confrontation, without explaining yourself, without making them feel okay about it. No. Just don't move. Simple like that. You don't gotta punish them because they didn't meet the standards. You just gotta don't move, sit still, and then just watch. Because what the raised bar produces is the most accurate information that you will ever receive, that you will ever collect about the people around you. Some will rise, some won't. And it won't be because you asked them to. More so because something in them recognize that what they're dealing with is worth rising for. Others will reveal themselves though. We're not worried about them. You're good. Quietly, clearly, without you even having to do anything. You don't have to do anything besides hold the line. They'll show you, I promise you this. They'll show you how they respond to a real standard. Exactly how invested they actually were. So see who rises. Not to narrow your life down to some impossible standard of perfection, but because you deserve to know who's actually in it for you. For real. and who's actually here because the bar was just low enough to clear without even trying. Now here's what I want to leave you with. The tides that resides, you don't feel it going out. You don't decide it's leaving. You look up and then you realize you're standing in a whole completely different spot from when you started. That's exactly what happens when you keep accommodating, when you keep adjusting, when you keep allowing things to slide. The standard resides without a decision being made. And then one day when you look at life, matter of fact, the life that you're in, the relationships, the work, the treatment that you have been receiving, you will realize that it's far from the shore that you were once arrived at, that you were meant to stand on. The tide that holds, though, that doesn't reside regardless of the pressure. That's the standard that lives as a practice. Not announced, not enforced through drama, just held. Day by day, interaction by interaction. One, quiet refusal to accommodate below the level that you're at. And the life that builds around a held standard. The people who stay, the opportunities that arrive, the quality of experience that you're moving through. That life, see, that looks different. And it's not because you're demanding it, because you were clear. You were clear about it. So raise the bar and then hold it. And we'll see who rises. That's clarity. One question before the outro, just one. Where in your life have you been accommodating something that's below your standard? You know, maybe you're calling it maturity. Sit with that and then drop it in the comments. Let me know where you're at with it. If this video landed, share with the man who has, been lowering his standard and then wondering why nothing clears it. The art of detachment is the foundation. You can check this out in the top link in the description. The clarity room is now open. The full system, all 3 pillars, and a private community of men doing this work together. Don't forget, guys, we are also on Spotify. So if you want to tune in on the go, you can check that out as well. Remember, clarity in mind, discipline in motion. I'll see you on to the next one. Be easy, stay safe, love y'all, man. Peace.